What if your dog has been sending you the same messages every day, and you've been misunderstanding every single one of them? The strange thing is that these signals happen so often that most owners stop noticing them altogether. When those messages are misread, the bond between you and your dog can become weaker without you ever realizing why. A simple look, a certain position, or a behavior that seems completely random may actually carry a message your dog wants you to understand. Today, we're breaking down what canine behavior experts and animal psychology reveal about the hidden meanings behind some of the most common things dogs do. Welcome to World of Dogs and Cats. Subscribe right now because what you're about to learn will completely change the way you look at your dog. These are 12 things your dog has been trying to tell you every day, and almost nobody understands them correctly. Number 1. Sitting on your feet. Have you ever wondered why your dog chooses your feet instead of the empty space right beside you? What if that exact spot carries a message most owners never notice? To your dog, your feet hold one of the strongest concentrations of your scent. Animal behavior researchers believe dogs use scent as a form of emotional information. By sitting on your feet, your dog places themselves as close as possible to a smell that feels familiar and safe. It is partly about comfort, but it is also about connection. In many cases, your dog is quietly saying, "This is my person, and I want to stay close." The behavior often appears during moments when your dog feels relaxed or wants reassurance. What looks like a simple habit may actually be a small daily declaration of trust, and the next behavior reveals what happens when that trust is interrupted unexpectedly. Number 2. Growling when woken up. Many people believe a dog should never growl at its owner. But what if that growl is actually one of the most honest forms of communication your dog has? When dogs are suddenly awakened, their brains need a moment to switch from rest to awareness. Just like people can feel confused after being startled awake, dogs can experience brief disorientation. A growl in this situation is often not aggression. It is a warning signal designed to prevent conflict before it starts. Behavior specialists frequently describe growling as communication, not a threat. Your dog is saying, "I need a second to understand what is happening." Punishing that signal can remove the warning while leaving the discomfort behind. Understanding this distinction changes the way many owners interpret canine emotions. And the next behavior sounds even stranger, yet it carries a surprisingly positive meaning. Number 3. Sneezing during play. One of the happiest signals your dog can give you often sounds like the beginning of a cold. In reality, a sneeze during play is frequently a sign that everything is going exactly right. Dogs use what behavior scientists call play signals to prevent misunderstandings. During rough play, excitement levels rise and movements become faster. A quick sneeze can act like a social message that says, "This is still a game." It helps keep interactions friendly and relaxed. Researchers have observed this behavior not only between dogs and humans, but also between dogs playing with each other. In a strange way, that sneeze helps maintain trust in the middle of excitement. What sounds meaningless to us may be a carefully timed emotional signal. And another everyday behavior reveals just how much your presence affects your dog's sense of security. Number 4. Only eating when you are in the room. Once you understand why your dog waits for you before eating, many feeding time mysteries suddenly make sense. What looks like a strange habit is often rooted in thousands of years of social evolution. Dogs evolved alongside humans and learned that important resources were safest when shared within a trusted group. For some dogs, eating alone feels slightly uncomfortable, even when food is available. Your presence acts as a signal that the environment is secure. Studies of social animals show that companionship can influence feeding behavior in powerful ways. When your dog glances at you before taking the first bite, they may be checking that everything is okay. In emotional terms, they are saying, "I feel safer when you're here." That simple moment reveals a level of trust many owners never recognize. The next behavior takes that burst of emotion and turns it into pure movement. Number 5. Sudden zoomies around the house. Your dog explodes across the room, races through the hallway, slides around a corner, and suddenly looks completely out of control. But what if that burst of chaos is actually a healthy message from your dog's body? These sudden energy bursts are often called zoomies or fraps, which stands for frenetic random activity periods. They usually happen after excitement, stress relief, a bath, or long periods of rest. Behavior experts believe zoomies help dogs release built-up physical and emotional energy. It is less about hyperactivity and more about resetting their internal state. In many cases, a zooming dog is not losing control at all. They are expressing joy, relief, or simple excitement in the most natural way they know. What looks wild to you may feel incredibly good to them. And the next behavior reveals what happens when your emotions become your dog's emotions. Number 6. Whining when you cry. One of the strongest signs of empathy in your home may come from an animal that cannot speak a single word. When you cry and your dog starts whining, they are often responding to emotional changes they can detect. Research has shown that dogs pay close attention to human facial expressions, tone of voice, and body language. They may not understand the reason for your sadness, but they recognize that something is different. That emotional shift can create concern, confusion, or a desire to help. Some dogs move closer, some place a paw on you, and others vocalize through soft whining. In their own way, they are trying to respond to your emotional state. It is not human empathy exactly, but it is far more than simple curiosity. And another behavior shows what happens when your dog senses a major change coming before you even leave. Number 7. Lying on your suitcase. Why does your dog suddenly become interested in your suitcase when they ignored it for weeks? And how do they seem to know what it means before you even leave? Dogs are experts at recognizing patterns. They notice routines, objects, and tiny details that humans often overlook. Over time, many dogs learn to associate suitcases with separation. The moment that familiar object appears, they begin predicting what comes next. Lying on the suitcase may be a way of staying close to an item connected to you. In some cases, it may even be an attempt to interrupt a routine they dislike. Your dog is not thinking about travel, they are thinking about your absence, and the next behavior sends a message of trust in a way that surprises many owners. Number 8. Sitting with their back toward you. Most people assume that if a dog turns away from you, it must be ignoring you. Surprisingly, the opposite is often true. In the animal world, exposing your back is a vulnerable act. It means you are not actively watching for danger. When your dog sits with their back facing you, they may be showing that they feel safe in your presence. They trust that you are not a threat and that you will notice if something unusual happens. Behaviorists often see this posture in relaxed and emotionally secure dogs. It is a quiet gesture, which is why so many owners miss its meaning. Sometimes trust does not look like attention at all. Sometimes it looks like complete comfort. And the next behavior reveals what happens when that feeling of safety suddenly disappears. Number 9. Howling when left home alone. Once you understand why your dog howls when you leave, many assumptions about loneliness begin to change. Most owners think the sound is simply a complaint. In reality, howling has deep roots in canine communication. Wild canines use long-distance vocalizations to locate members of their group and maintain social contact. When your dog howls after you leave, part of that ancient instinct may still be active. They are not necessarily trying to annoy the neighbors. They may be attempting to reconnect with someone important who has disappeared from their world. For some dogs, the behavior is mild. For others, it can signal separation-related stress. The sound may be carrying a simple message that says, "Where are you?" And the next behavior reveals a completely different side of your dog's instincts. Number 10. shaking toys violently. Your dog grabs a toy, whips it from side to side, and suddenly looks like a tiny wild predator. But why does such a playful moment resemble a hunting scene? The answer reaches back thousands of years into canine evolution. The rapid shaking motion is linked to instincts once used to subdue small prey. Modern dogs no longer need those skills to survive, but the behavior remains deeply wired into their brains. That is why even the gentlest family dog may shake a stuffed toy with surprising intensity. During play, this instinct becomes a safe outlet for natural behaviors. It is not a sign of aggression toward you. It is a glimpse into the ancient animal still living beneath the friendly companion you know today. And the next behavior may reveal that your dog notices something about cameras that most people never consider. Number 11, running away from cameras. Have you ever raised your phone for a photo and watched your dog suddenly look away or walk off? What if your dog notices something about cameras that you cannot see? Many dogs become uncomfortable when a device is pointed directly at their face. Some react to the unusual body posture people make while taking photos. Others may dislike the attention or the feeling of being watched. In some cases, dogs can even notice subtle sounds or flashes that humans barely register. Animal behavior experts suggest that dogs often read the entire situation differently than we do. To your dog, the camera is not a memory-making tool. It is simply a strange object changing your behavior. And the final behavior on this list may be the most personal message your dog sends every day. Number 12, licking you. The most common sign of affection from your dog may be far more complex than a simple kiss. Licking is a behavior with multiple layers of meaning. Puppies lick their mothers from the moment they are very young, making it one of the earliest social behaviors they learn. As adults, dogs may lick to show affection, seek attention, reduce tension, or strengthen social bonds. Scientists believe the behavior is closely linked to attachment and communication. When your dog licks your hand, face, or arm, they are often gathering information through scent while expressing familiarity at the same time. It is a behavior that combines instinct and emotion in a single action. In many ways, your dog is saying, "I know you, I trust you, and I want to stay connected to you." What seems like a simple lick may actually be one of the clearest messages of all. Now you know that your dog may be saying much more than you ever imagined without speaking a single word. But the most fascinating part is not what your dog is telling you. So watch the next video and discover who your dog thinks you are every time they look at you. Miss it, and one of the biggest pieces of the puzzle may remain hidden.